Welcome back to Fire Pit Talk with James. With me is...
Your boy David, as always.
We are back for part 2 of serial killers, except we are only covering one, and he has actually recently been named. David, who is it?
His name is Herbert Baumeister.
Herbert Baumeister, otherwise known as the Fox Hollow Murderer. Oh boy, crazy.
Are you saying like he just recently popped up?
He is the one that was undetected until the people that bought the house found 10,000 bone fragments in the yard.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a documentary on Hulu for those who don't know. It's called The Fox Hollow Murders. Bro
Go
is
check it out if you have
he
Hulu.
is the Jeffrey Dahmer you've never heard of. That's quoted from Hulu. Kind of crazy.
It's kind of wild.
10,000 bone fragments. There's only 206 bones in a human body.
But what could
By
possibly have that? What?
10,206.
That is crazy though.
That's a lot of bodies.
Yeah, one too many.
That is 48 people, at least.
I
That's
would
48
not be
too many.
surprised.
48 too many.
So
What?
yeah, let's go do the one.
Meanwhile, he's just burning bodies and shoveling stuff all over.
The new family moves in. Mom, why is there bone fragments in the yard?
You know, Herbert's own son was playing in the yard and found a human skull.
Really?
When he asked his father what it was, he said, "Oh, it's just from my father's college."
Father's college.
His father, I think, did mortuary stuff, dead bodies.
Yeah.
So he found the human skull, and his father said, "Oh, it was just given to me by my father." Some silly ass excuse.
Huh.
Anyway, start off with the early life of Mr. Baumeister here.
Let's get it started. Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. Well, mine's not really bulletin, but, you know. In his early life, before he was known as the American serial killer, he did have some friends, you know. He was chill to them, but then once they got to know the real him, they started to get worried.
What
They,
exactly worried them?
well, I will tell you. They started to notice his Europhilia, but to dumb it down for some people in the crowd, it's when someone ponders what it would be like to taste human urine.
Oof,
Yep, human urine.
that is not nice.
Not nice at all. He also had to find. He also had a fond of peeing on teachers' desks and messing with dead animals. I think y'all know where this is going.
Yeah.
His father was so worried that he decided to jump the gun and take Herbert to a mental facility to get examined to see what was wrong with him. But you see, to Herbert, it was normal, you know. But to others, it was just plain wrong and disgusting. He was later diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and antisocial personality disorder.
Oh, kids.
Kids these days, man.
But they're raised in a certain background to, show the factors of a possible serial killer.
Yeah, you
Did it
know,
say anything about animal abuse?
they did not.
Hmm.
But I'm pretty sure you probably have it.
I'm pretty sure class clown isn't one of the factors.
Yeah, more like, you know, I'm pretty sure people would know that.
Bro is the class murderer.
Yep. It's not
He's in
funny,
the
it's
yearbook
dangerous.
most likely to become a fuck up.
Really?
No. No. He's
No.
probably not even in the yearbook.
I mean, if he was in the yearbook, it'll probably not show his face because they probably, like, crossed out his face and all.
Huh, like a Dahmer did, except Dahmer snuck in and he made himself known.
Exactly. But Herbert didn't do that, though.
He was born April 7th, 1947, just after Hitler's, goofy shit.
Oof.
One clown
Oof.
dead, another one rises.
Oof. Gotta follow your idols, I guess.
Bro, I don't know if he idoled Hitler. He was,
Well,
let's see, born in Indiana, oldest of 4 children.
oldest of 4 children.
He attended the Indiana University in 1965 for a bit, and then dropped out. Because why
Huh.
not?
Jeez. I wonder why.
Drifted in between jobs due to bizarre behavior. I bet you can figure what that is.
Pretty sure I could.
Everything you probably mentioned for his childhood is just carrying on into the adult life.
Yep. But you know what they say, some people's childhood it leads into their adulthood and then, they think it's normal.
He got married to Julie Sater. Bro had 3 kids. Six
Jeez.
months into the marriage, he was committed to another hospital.
Oh, lordy. Were the kids young
You,
by
you know
by
what?
then?
Yeah, they were just little kids. But you know what the dad said about
What
committing him to a hospital?
what did dad say?
He said, my son needs help. You're damn straight he does.
Needs help, bro. He needs the full works.
Bro, but he got out of the hospital, and you know what this man did?
What do you do?
He opened a thrift store.
What was in this thrift store?
Just a bunch of miscellaneous antique stuff. He opened a Save-A-Lot thrift store chain in 1988. And
Wow.
he found some success, but uh, per usual, everything must come to an end, and it came to an end.
Yeah.
He is suspected. Let's see, and he was suspected starting in the 1990s for the murders of over a dozen gay men. And yes, he killed gay men.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds like Dahmer and Gacy, except Gacy went after little boys.
Yeah.
They're both dead though. So,
Good riddance to them.
uh, yeah, we'll learn about Baumeister's, you know, end in the end. But he started getting suspected in the 1990s because the I-70 strangler, who was unknown at the time, had the same MO as Baumeister did once they started linking him to cases.
Really?
The I-70 strangler would take hookers or gay men and discard them alongside the highway. That's why they call them I-70. But once
Right.
Baumeister bought Fox Hollow Farms, that's when the killings stopped showing up at the highway and started at his house. So they think he transferred from the I-70 to his house.
Interesting.
Of course, it's just a theory. There's no proof, but that's what they think.
But
Kind
it's
of
probably also true, so you never know.
makes sense if he started murdering, dropping them there, and then he got a secluded farm and changed there. I could see it.
Yeah, it's his own land, and no one would bother him there
He's on a
unless,
farm, so he's in the middle of the woods,
yeah,
and
no one will.
animals eat anything.
Yep, most definitely. That is an understatement.
So he probably had plenty of ways. His favorite
But
way of getting rid of bodies was to burn them,
interesting.
scatter their bone fragments all over the property.
Guess he thought it would make him grow.
Goofy.
I don't know.
Hey, but
Maybe.
he got away with it for a while. So
Yeah,
we're about to get into the murder list, and you'll see. He definitely stayed under the radar, but that's because he picked up victims that no one would give a shit about.
yeah. I guess you can think outside the box. I don't know.
Well, back then, people didn't look upon gays as people. So if one of them went missing, no one would care.
Yeah, but it depends. It depends because if they were abducted, then some parents would care and they would try to say
Well, yeah,
something, but
but cops didn't care.
yeah, they just thought that they were probably like ran from home or like they
A
didn't.
quote from one of the cops, one of them had said they probably got what they deserved.
Huh? Interesting.
Yeah,
They're supposed to protect the country and
literally
they're
deserved, and they're treating gays as not people and letting them disappear.
I'm pretty sure if they had kids and they were not fond of their
They were
gender,
gay children and they went missing.
then I'm pretty sure they'll be all over that. But if it's just somebody else's children, it's a different story.
Because, ooh-wee, selfish Americans.
Well, that's the society we live in, man.
Woohoo.
So what did he do for work before all this
What,
serial killer
what
thing?
did he do? I'm pretty sure, if my source is right, he was a businessman.
Businessman. Interesting. Do you know what kind of businessman, like, or just like a regular businessman?
I am looking at it right now. It's crazy how it didn't show up in my notes. Weird. Hold on, let me pull it up right here. Huh. It's not really saying much.
So it's just talking about how he was a businessman and not
If
showing
you,
like,
oh, I guess that was his work, was the thrift store.
oh, okay. That makes sense.
So he was
That
an
makes sense.
entrepreneur.
Okay.
He opened his own thing and, went from there. That makes
Oh, that does make sense.
that, why did that slip my mind? God, yeah.
Well, it happens.
Jeez. He owned a thrift store chain.
So that's where the businessman part comes
Yeah,
into
I guess
play.
he had a few stores across the U.S. and he was, uh, you know, just running those. Eventually it failed. Something about bankrupt and his family was falling apart and his wife started noticing that he was probably a murderer. And so,
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
I mean, if I found out my spouse was a murderer, I'd probably go too. Like, shit, he could get me.
That is crazy.
I'm just saying, gotta be careful.
Never know these days.
Let's get into his murders.
All
What do you
right.
got for the murders?
Well, chalked up to about 11 victims. And, I noticed that some of them were young and the others were just very confusing. So I have the names and their ages here.
Do you have cause of death by chance?
Sadly, I do not, but I hope
I,
that you
I
do.
if you just name them, whatever you don't mention, I can mention.
Okay. The first one I have is Michael Sean Petrie or
Yep.
Petrie. Yeah, Petrie. He was 15 years old. Do you have anything on him?
It says here that he was discovered in Hamilton County, June 16th of 1980. He was reported missing the week before. His cause of death was strangulation. This is any death here. I think since they're all like found in the same area, I'm pretty sure that these are the I-70 murders
Oh,
because
okay.
we can't really confirm any murders at the house itself because it's just bone fragments.
Right, because we don't know who
But
who it is.
everyone
Because
that we're about to mention, the 11, were all strangled.
oh, okay,
Yes, and they were all found in the same areas.
really
Yes,
interesting.
majority of them were found in Hamilton County. Some of them
Uh,
in Ohio, though.
Ohio.
So he was crossing state lines to throw off jurisdiction.
I mean, I guess that's smart. I guess
Well,
for
not
a
when,
serial killer.
not when the county you dump them in is only just across the state line.
True. That's when the dumbness comes into play.
If you're gonna dump them across the state, go to way within the state. Don't cross the border and dump it right there.
They'll go driving length from right there.
Because if you stay close to your original dump spot, they're gonna know.
They're gonna retrack it back to the ones you have right there.
Silliest.
Crazy.
The
The
second
second one,
body, according to my notes, is
yeah,
Maurice Taylor,
she was 22 years old.
found July 21st of 1982 in Hamilton County. The same as the first one.
Did it say cause of death?
Strangulation. All of these kids were strangled.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Third victim mentioned is Delvoid Baker.
He was 14 years old.
Oh boy.
Very young.
I don't know how kids were so confident back then. You can't step outside today without getting grabbed.
My question is, if he was getting people from these gay bars, so what? He would find these little kids like walking or something?
No, no, no. This is before the gay bars.
Okay, so he would
These
do this
these
before
are
then.
like hitchhikers and stuff he'd grab.
Oh, okay.
Kids
That makes
walking home
sense.
from school or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense.
The
That
gay
makes sense.
part, the gay bar part doesn't come until he buys the farm.
Oh, okay.
Because
That's
he
makes
lures
sense.
them back to the house by, telling them it's a huge house because it was. It was a mansion.
Gotcha.
He's got a
Gotcha.
pool and everything.
Huh.
I'd go back to his house, but I'd bring a gun.
He said,
You're not, you're
I
not
would
getting
be,
me today.
I'll be well protected before I go over there."
I keep a strap. You ain't getting me today.
He said, "King Kong ain't got nothing on me."
Huh? The next body is Michael Riley.
He was 22 years old.
His age difference is just wild.
Very.
14 to 23. Jesus. He was found June 5th, 1983. Guess where?
Hamilton
Yep, Hamilton County. He
should have known.
disappeared May 28th, but a witness described a man that looked like Herbert as the man that lured him away.
Huh. Okay.
But the cops didn't follow up on it because, they think kids are runaways.
Yeah. Sometimes you do have to think about it though. Some kids are runaways.
Well, yeah, but not every missing case is a runaway.
But even if they are not, you still should have the decency to at least check it out. You
Yeah,
know,
you should still look into it. That's your job. If
like
I
that's your
report to you
job.
my kid is missing, if I don't see paperwork on a desk in 24 hours, I'm suing.
Most definitely, I'm suing the whole department.
Like, bro, I told you
What?
24 hours ago you're eating here donuts. Give me the donuts. Get
You're,
your ass to work.
you're eating donuts and drinking
Give me your
black
uniform so I can
decaf.
do it. I tell him to give me his uniform so I can do it if he ain't gonna do
You said I'll clock in for you.
it. Let me get
I'll,
that
I'll,
OT.
I'll give you that overtime, my boy. I got you.
Crazy. Next body is that of Eric Rotger? Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Rodger. He was 17 years old, man. Ah,
Mm-mm-mm.
this is crazy.
What more information is there on Mr. Eric here?
Um, um.
This is the one he dumped in Preble County, Ohio.
Oh, so this was the
Is one
cross
of the
state
Ohio
kind.
ones. Yep, yep. He was last
Okay,
seen at a bus stop in March, getting into a car that witnesses describe as one belonging to guess who?
I wonder who.
I do wonder indeed. The one and only Herbert.
Huh?
Cause of death was
Who would have known?
strangulation.
What was the cause of death?
Strangulation.
Strangulation.
But he was strangled with a towel,
Huh?
a bath towel.
Oh, a bath towel to be
Like
exact.
Bro stayed the night in a hotel and said, "This would be nice." I
She's
can murder
like,
somebody with
yeah, this is durable.
it. This could take him out.
Yeah, this will work. Yeah.
Hot damn.
Hey, Eric, I got something for you. Like, oh, goody, what is it?
Got you a bath towel. You're gonna need it.
Time to take a bath.
Yo. Let's see here. Next one is Michael Glenn.
Man, he was 29 years old.
That's an old man now.
Sorta.
3 decades. He disappeared August 15th, 1986. But most of these victims disappeared from Indiana. He disappeared in Ohio.
Huh.
No one can tell for sure when exactly he disappeared, but his cause of death was strangulation. So it seems like some of his victims were like he would go to Ohio and get some. I guess that's what I'm seeing.
Interesting.
It's weird.
That is very weird.
You don't go to the state right above you if you're murdering.
Well, some people don't think before they do stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something that you're not supposed to be doing. So they they
I
so
know
they
what I'll do.
act.
I know what I'll do. I'll just go north.
So they just act on on their wrongdoing.
He said the child population has decreased here. I can't find any. No shit. You took them all.
You took them all. You killed them. You killed most of them. You killed them all.
Bro.
It's like, yeah, I noticed that there's
He's
no kids
he's
running
really
around.
playing Go Fish.
It's crazy.
He's like 17-year-old. Nope. Gotta go to the next one. The body of James Robbins,
Man, he was 21.
found October 17th, 1987 in Shelby County, Ohio. He disappeared only 2 days earlier. His cause of death was strangulation.
What was it by?
If you're gonna murder, don't use the same way every time or they're gonna know it's you.
I guess that's his signature.
Yeah, that's his MO. Except that's how he's gonna get caught because he keeps doing the same shit.
Yeah,
Like, I
but
wouldn't do
some
that.
people don't think.
If you're gonna strangle one, then shoot the other. Like, if you use the same mode every time, leave them in the same areas every time, you're giving yourself away. You might as well put a picture of yourself in the bush with them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, hey, this is happening and this is me, but good luck finding me. I go between 2 different states and I just bought a farm.
No one can find me here.
Crazy.
That is wild.
Next victim is Stephen Elliott,
Man, he was 26.
found August 12th, 1989, in Ohio. Another Ohio body. But
Man,
it's still the same county as the other Ohio bodies. Cause of
interesting.
death, strangulation. With a towel. Because
Man, the same towel?
why not?
That would be crazy if he used the same towel.
Yeah, it's the same thing every time.
It's like, yeah, this'll do.
Crazy. Next body of Stephen Elliott.
He already did that one.
No, we didn't.
You
Oh,
sure?
okay. Yeah, we did. Shit.
Yeah.
Clay Boatman.
And he was 32.
Yeah. This one he picked up in Indiana from a gay bar.
Oh, okay. All right.
He was found dead near Eaton, Ohio. So a different place. This one, he did switch up a bit, except one thing.
What's that?
He strangled him with a towel.
Oh, jeez.
Yerp.
That now this towel thing is getting out of hand. It's just like now they gonna know that it was by a
Bro said,
towel.
why buy a weapon when the hotel can provide it?
It's like the hotel did say use it for your own free will. They
Bro,
didn't say
bro, bro
how.
told housekeeping he's going to need more.
Yeah, I need more towels.
Yeah, I'm
It's like,
kind of
yeah,
low. I'm going to need that.
I don't have any more, so I'm gonna need those. I'm gonna need those towels. Ooh, that's
Reminds me of
durable.
the scene in Home Alone Lost in New York when he orders all the ice cream and shit. And they all
Yeah,
come up to the hotel room bringing him all this luxurious, expensive ass crap.
I
And he's
swear.
he's in the shower with a bunch of mannequins making it look like a bunch of people are in there. Crazy.
That's wild.
Speaking of Home Alone, I think there's another one coming out.
Yeah, they say they're making another one.
Crazy.
I think it's sometime this year.
But the originals are still the OG.
Yeah,
Nothing better than good old Kevin.
nothing wrong with that.
I don't want to see some off-brand. It's like having Batman and then there's Bateman.
uh, uh, that is crazy.
The body of Thomas Clevenger disappeared September 6, 1990.
He was 18.
He was found in Greenville, Ohio, by a railroad track. He was
Really
picked up. He was a hooker from a gay bar.
interesting.
There's only one thing about this murder.
What's that?
I think you can guess.
Strangled,
Nope. Cause of death is unknown.
unknown.
Yep.
So they never found the body.
No, they found it, but they couldn't tell how he died because it had been too long.
Huh? Was the body decaying?
Yes. You got to
Huh?
remember this is up north summertime.
Oh, That's
It's hot.
understandable.
It's hot. I now have a list of. We just went through 11 victims. I now have another list of many more that I
Let's
shall
go.
read off.
Let's go through it.
Johnny Lee Johnny Bayer, 20, went missing May 28th, 1993. None of these, I don't think, have a cause of death because these were all found on the farm, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Jeffrey Allen Jones, 31, went missing July 6, 1993. Richard Douglas Hamilton Jr., 20, went missing July 31st. Alan Lee Livingston, who is a main one that they've been trying to, figure out his cause of death, went missing August 6th. Ooh, birthday. His remains were recovered on the farm, but remained unidentified from 1996 all the way up until 2023.
Huh. Interesting.
They didn't figure him out until almost 30 years later.
Huh.
Ooh, so many bodies.
That's just
Bro could not take a break. We got Stephen Hale, 28, went missing April 1st. Alan Rousard, 28, went missing June 6th. Roger Allen Goodlet, another main one, went missing July 22nd. Michael Kieran, 45 years old, was last seen
man.
March 31st. Manuel Resendez, 34, last seen at a gay bar in downtown Indianapolis on August 6th. In just last January, Hamilton County Coroner announced that he had been killed at Follow Farm. So it took them all the way up until last year to figure out who this was.
Man.
That's crazy. It took them 30 years to figure out who these people are. Because all they had to go by was little bone fragments.
Man.
Little skulls and maybe some teeth and, all kinds of crap.
That is crazy.
Wild. That's why a lot of these people haven't been, mentioned because no one knows who they are.
Really.
The ones we're listing right now are the only ones that have been identified.
Huh. Okay.
They were able to figure out who Resendez was because human remains recovered from the property matched a family reference sample that was submitted. So they found
Yeah.
him through, like, Ancestry.com. And that is all the bodies.
Interesting.
What do you have to add to that? What are your thoughts on that?
That if I would buy a farm, I would use it for a farm. You know?
Oh, he was farming, all right. He was farming bodies.
Well, if I was farming, I'd be farming like some animals, not no human bodies.
Crazy.
Because some people you actually use the farms to live a regular life.
Another funny fact about this dude: when he bought the farm, it was just him at the time. He was, kind of lonely. He
Yeah.
would steal mannequins, full-size mannequins, dress them up, and put them all over the house. When
That,
the documentary was filmed, the
yeah.
mannequins were all still there.
That is
It's kind of
crazy.
creepy. Definitely watch the documentary. You can see everything. It's a nice house, but
Interesting.
little Jimmy's in the backyard somewhere. So you never know.
You never know.
That stick you find in the backyard could be a femur.
Don't tell me that now. Now I don't want to pick up any stick that's around the property.
You have to go to Indiana to find this.
Well, I don't care if it's in Mexico.
Huh.
I don't care if it's in Mexico, my boy.
Baumeister's killing spree ended when his son found human remains. When I told you that he found the skull and all that,
Yeah.
it scared Baumeister, so he stopped killing.
Like they caught him, or he just
No,
stopped
no,
doing
like
it.
his son finding that in the woods made him halt for the time
Int-
being because he didn't want his son catching on and telling somebody or whatever.
Interesting.
He targeted a gay man and apparently was eventually linked to I-70. Baumeister was followed up by the police, and eventually, once they figured out that bro was fucking serial murdering people, they,
Uh-huh.
tried to get him to bring him in. Well, he fled to Canada. You know what they found in Canada?
What they find in Canada?
A dead Mr. Baumeister. You know why?
Why?
Because he shot himself in the head in the park.
Oh, yeah, they do say that how he
He
died.
committed suicide in a park in Canada, but he
Interesting.
left notes. No one knows what the notes say. Canadian police took it and refused to give it up. But yeah, dead Mr. Baumeister. But he was never really convicted of this stuff. We all know he did it, obviously.
Yeah.
There's, what other reason would there be for 10,000 bone fragments to be on your property? And you bought shit.
Well, people can do a lot of things.
He left behind a 3-page suicide note. But according to the Canadians, when he wrote the note, he didn't mention anything about the murders. All he talked about was how his life sucked and this and that.
Well, obviously, why else put he wouldn't make it as a confession letter. He would
Yeah,
put it as a
but
suicide
if
note.
you know you're about to kill yourself, then what's the harm in confessing? At least give closure. There's nothing they can do to you if you're dead.
Well, it don't matter if you're getting closure or not. Either way, they're still dead. Even if you do get a confession, it won't bring them back.
Well, yeah, but at least you'd know.
Like you eat, I don't know.
At least you'd know. Like this piece of shit went to Canada and fucked off, but
I guess.
at least we know. Like poor Jimmy's back there, bone fragments all over the place. I don't know. I think it's crazy.
I think it's messed up. That's for sure.
Well, for sure, any kind of serial murder is messed up. Some crazy shit.
I really would not be surprised if people in this generation would go into their childhood. They'd be like, you know what? I'm getting sick and tired of this.
Just go off entire groups.
Time to time to bring it back. It's like, what do you mean bring
Oh,
it back? What do you mean bring it back?
let's go to a gay bar right quick. I'll show you.
Yeah, let's express our other gender. Let's express our other gender. Let's experience our other gender.
Crazy.
That's wild.
Uh uh.
That is crazy.
Let's talk about Mr. Mark Goodyear here. You know who Mark Goodyear is?
I sure do not.
He apparently, according to sources, dated Herb Baumeister.
Really?
That's right. Dated the man. He is apparently the only one to have survived being with Baumeister and claims he had nothing to do with anything. But some of the details he gives and some of the stuff you'll hear him say in the documentary give
Uh-huh.
the man away. He knows more than he's letting on, and he knows more information than someone who had nothing to do with it.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's what leads investigators to think he had something to do with it. Alleged survivor, but people think he was an accomplice. An accomplice.
Yeah.
Mark Goodyear led the police to Baumeister by lying, which also leads them to think he knows more, because the very first interaction with police was just a lie.
Huh.
He got the police to come out to the farms by lying, saying that Herbert attacked him, when Herbert never attacked him.
Wow. That is
He
crazy.
described the house and the man that lived there, but could not give them an address.
That is crazy.
He told them everything except what they needed to know.
Yeah,
They like
that's usually how it
it was
goes.
like, we'll need an address, sir, to find you. And he's like, well, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
I can
know
tell
the
you the
address.
house. I can tell you the man, but I don't know.
I don't know the address. Sorry. You're on your own with that one. You're on
Well,
your
guy's
own with
like,
that
no,
one.
you
Sorry.
figure it out. I told you what he looks like. Come here and come get
Yeah, y'all figure it out. Y'all are smart
him.
people. You're smart, intelligent people. Y'all can figure it out. It
He
won't be
talks
that
in a
hard.
way that insinuates that he took part in the horrors of Fox Hollow Farms, but he claims he's just, the victim, the survivor.
Interesting.
I don't believe it, though. Because in the Hulu documentary, he unknowingly to himself admits to taking part in a murder.
Really?
Herbert Baumeister killed one of the guys by shooting him point blank with a shotgun. Well, guess who held that person down so that they could get shot?
What would that be?
Mr. Mark Goodyear literally told the Hulu people that he held him down while Herbert shot him. The guy's name was Leroy that he held down.
Huh.
Unfortunately, the only evidence they have of that is Mark's statement, and there's no physical evidence.
Oh, okay.
It is also noted that Mark's stories with each interview change. He'll tell Hulu this one thing and tell the detective a whole nother thing, which leads him to be, unreliable and probably an accomplice. You
Yeah.
can't just live with a serial killer and not know what the hell's going on. Eventually, you catch on. And you either do the shit with bro, or you end up in the ground with the other bros.
Either way, you're done.
You're
It's
done. Unless
over.
you
It's
run
over
away.
either way.
Unless you run away and hope Mr. Baumeister doesn't fuck off and find you.
Yeah.
Crazy. I personally think he was an accomplice. The way he be talking in that Hulu documentary,
Uh huh.
it's convincing.
Man, I might have to watch that. I'm gonna have to watch the documentary.
It's called The Fox Hollow Murders.
Except Foxhole.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else you got up in your notes there? Anything we didn't touch up on? Or anything you
Let's
want to add on to?
let's see here. Well, I do have the names of his parents and his children.
Oh, let's get into the family life then.
Let's dip into the family history. So his parents' names were Elizabeth and Herbert Baumeister.
Of
So
course.
he got his name
Because
from
why
his
not?
father.
Herbert Jr.
He had three kids, two daughters and a son. Their names were, I think
Let me
it's
guess. Herbert,
Erich. I think it's Erich or Eric for short.
Eric.
Emily and Mary.
Oh, so no Herbert Jr. Jr.
Yeah, there's no Herbert Jr. Jr.
Yeah. Got to keep the family legacy going. Is there
Uh,
where those kids are, if they're even alive today?
It'll be Herbert Jr. 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 Jr.
Who?
I swear they're gonna keep that. They're gonna keep that name alive. I guess
What's your name?
they trying
Oh,
to compensate.
I'm Herbert Baumeister. Oh,
Interesting. I'm Herbert Baumeister.
last I checked, that's a murderer. Are you a murderer, son?
So what if I am Dad?
You're gonna have to count me in. You know this is a
Starts.
father-son activity, like a science project for the fair.
Guess they're compensating for something.
It says here, Baumeister's suspected of killing at least 25 people,
Really?
plus plus many more that just haven't been identified.
Huh. Interesting.
There's plenty of bodies that have been, discovered remains all on the farm that have not been identified, and there's suspected to be many more that haven't even been found yet.
Oh, okay.
Herbert Baumeister is a good example of serial killers living a double life. You know how on one side of the cube they're a family man, on the other side they're a dark murderer.
Yes.
It's the same with Dahmer. It's the same with Gacy. Same with Dennis Rader. They all had that cube effect where they could instantly, switch personalities. It's just crazy. How you raising a kid and killing kids?
Well, they gotta keep a reputation.
When you kill them all, you gonna go after your son?
So
Oh, Herbert Jr., I think your time has come.
yeah, I think it's time for you to go. You know what they say. I
You've been
brought
here
you into
long
this
enough.
world. I can take you right out.
Ah,
Guess they making that saying into a reality. Just
You know,
saying.
at one point when they were cracking down on Herbert for the murders,
Yeah.
had his son with him, and the court ordered him to give his son back to the mom.
Man,
She was scared that Herbert was going to off his kid.
that is that's
So
something.
he was court ordered to bring the kid back, and after that, he then, fucked off to Canada. But
Man, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. But bro did pretty good in life other than the killing, to be able to afford a big ass farm like that, to own
Yeah.
business. If he had just not been a dipshit, he'd be fine.
Well, some people are different than others.
People are born evil.
That's an understatement. You're not wrong with that one.
Well, obviously some people are born evil because all they do is, this kind of stuff.
Well, sometimes, the reason why they're like that is because they take it after their parents, or they
Well,
see other
I
people
don't
do it.
think, I don't think his, I don't think his father was a serial murderer.
Well, what does his father do exactly for work?
Uh, he was a, he was in the medical field.
Huh? And what does his mother do?
That's, I don't think that's,
Or is that not in the
I don't think it's known what his mother did. That wasn't really mentioned. It's really not even mentioned what his father did, but there was mentioned something about medical, because to be able to mess with, uh, bodies like dissection and stuff, you have to be in that kind of field. So
right? That's understandable. You are not wrong.
I'm pretty sure that's what it mentioned. They really only go into detail about Herbert.
Yeah, well, he would have to have the knowledge to do the killings that he has done.
I
But
think it started with the simple stuff in the childhood, and as he got older, he learned more and he escalated.
yeah, when you learn stuff as a child, it usually sticks with you
Yeah. And no one did anything about it besides put him in a hospital, because why not?
because they had the money, so they're just like, what, let's just put him in a mental facility and see if they can work their magic on him. Which
Crazy.
it only did for like a day, and that's it.
Crazy.
Or not even a day, more like a couple hours, and they went right back to the killing.
Well, whatever they did, it obviously didn't work.
Yeah, that's that's something we both can agree on.
Yep, because, bro was a murderer and he's dead. So,
Well, they say murders usually get put in the ground or get locked up for life.
what goes around comes around.
Karma comes for everyone.
Dun dun dun.
Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, think we pretty much covered everything on that.
I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Herbert Shitmeister.
Yep.
Terrible dude. Terrible dude.
Well, it's a good thing he's dead.
Well, unfortunately, with him being dead and the way he left, they will never fully get the answers they need.
Yeah, but I think that's probably also a reason why he did it. He killed himself anyway, so that they wouldn't find out. You know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just saying.
Thank you guys for joining. That was Serial Killer Part 2, Herbert Baumeister. Stay tuned in. More episodes coming soon.
Sure will.
Woohoo. Catch y'all next time.